Thanks a lot for taking a look at this book called Love Leads. I wrote this book really to help leaders understand more how to lead spiritually. That we can all lead of the flesh, that's what we have to offer. But when we can connect with God, we do better. So I'd like to introduce you to a topic today that is called entropy. It's taken from the sciences. That's really not any great surprise. It just means that all matter moves toward disorganization. It's no surprise to hear that the flesh decays. You know, leadership decays as well. That's one of the things that we've got to be careful of as a leader, because we can start strong, do a really good job for the first 90 days, maybe 6 months. There's great books out there on how to lead the first 100 days and come in and really do a good job. And then as we begin to have a little bit of success or start to feel comfortable, we can slack a little bit. We can lose a little bit of focus into what we are as leaders, what we intend to be. I want to start every day and remind myself that this is who I am, this is who I want to be. I want to lead according to the principles that I'm taught, particularly by Jesus. I want to look at that Sermon on the Mount and try to live that as a leader. And if I can do that, I might be able to arrest the entropic process. It's the process of decay. So what is the opposite of decay? It's going to be growth. That leaders try to get a hold of that decay line and pull it up and cause growth to occur as opposed to decay. I've seen decaying teams. You've seen them. We know what it looks like when a team is not motivated. They've lost their oomph because of the leader. The leader has caused them to lose their desire to perform at a high level. I know this about the kingdom of God. I believe I read this throughout the New Testament, that there isn't entropy in the kingdom of God. There's eternity. And the kingdom of God is about forever. And so if I'm leading on godly principles and loving principles, I don't expect for entropy to occur. I remember a story of a young man who every morning his mother told him to go to the well and fetch water. And she may not have done it in a very motherly, loving, kind way. I think she said, "Go out and get the water." And the young man said, "No, I shall not. I'll not go get the water." And it wasn't long, it wasn't more than 3 or 4 minutes later that he picked up the water pail, he went down to the well, drew the water and brought it back and sat it down for his mom. This went on every day. And the lesson that I've learned from this story, and that I think all leaders should learn, is a lot of it has to do with our style, with our tone, the way we talk to someone about it. That we can give an order in such a mean voice that no one wants to follow it. Or we can add a dash of love and say it in a way that's kind and considerate, and people want to go get it done for us without a whole lot of angst and pushback. Entropy is sort of like a closet. Most of us have a spring cleaning goal where we try to get the closet in pretty good shape. We've worked on ours at the house just recently, and I'm already noticing that decay is occurring. Things are moving around, it seems like on their own. There's stuff on the floor even. That's what happens to a closet without attention. It begins to fall apart, and then we put it all back together again, and it looks perfect. I've had a background in the restaurant business, and I've managed a lot of stores. I think at some point we had 385 stores open that I was responsible for, at least for the top line revenue. What we noticed is that when a manager went away on vacation, we could see it in sales numbers, we could see it in operational numbers. So what happens is when a manager leaves a restaurant, a leader leaves his building, decay begins to occur. We pay less attention to some things, we don't listen to everything that the customer wants, we just begin to slack a little bit. If that can happen, then if the job of a leader is to arrest decay, to slow it down, to do everything that we can do to generate life and to keep it going. And I believe that's what one of the things you're going to read about and study and learn in this book is how to arrest and create negative entropy, to be the kind of leader that people want to live for, that want to do everything they possibly can, because you're not leading as a man or as a woman. You're not leading from the flesh. What's born of the flesh is flesh. What's born of the Spirit is a spiritual leader who leads with love. And when we lead with love, we're going to see that that company, that business, that organization thrives, it grows, and it develops. So let's make this entropic process a little more practical and see how we can apply it into the work that we have before us today. As you meet following this video, maybe you'd want to consider a few of these things. First of all, we know that good ideas are lifeblood. So what ideas are circling around your organization now that will give life to this process and not death? For every organization that I've ever worked in, When we do an autopsy at the end of the project, we look for what would we do again? What are we not sure about? And what do we absolutely want to stop? That would be entropy. The things that we stop doing now and we start doing after that arrest entropy, and it keeps us moving. So in your meetings together, take that question and ask yourself, what do we need to stop doing? What should we start doing again? And as you consider the start doing, get zeroed in on some ideas and think about those ideas in a new way, based on love and based on what's good for your organization. So that's the concept of entropy, that what we love grows and what we don't pay attention to begins to decay. Everyone who's ever been in love wants love to grow. And I hope you want that today as you think about this entropic process, that you arrest it with the principle of love. That's what God does for us.